Welcome back to the Core Cars News Tech Lab. Today we got some breaking news happening. Over 50 cable TV companies are expected to shut down in 2025. This comes from sources that talk with Core Cars News and lines up with historical trends we are starting to see inside the cable TV industry. Now we got the full breakdown, all the details you need to know here. Plus, if you'd rather read it, we got a link to our story in the show notes and in the first pinned comment. You can find it there. If you like what we do here, please consider hitting that subscribe button, hitting that thumbs up. We cover the world of cord cutting, trying to help you break free from the high cost of TV and still watch the shows you enjoy. All right, so 50 cable TV companies are expected to shut down. This just comes as this week we learned that one of the largest cable TV providers in Alaska will also be shutting down its service and giving its customers streaming boxes instead. Now, there are still over 4,000 cable TV companies in the United States, but they've been shutting down at a rate of about 1.2% every year, shutting down since 2018. Now, you'd be amazed how many small regional cable companies there are. When I lived in Missouri at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, we used a company called Cable America. It was a small cable company just in a few markets. I will say though, props to them. It was always nice when you called for support. They just picked up the phone instantly. No menus, no nothing. You just got straight to a customer. So props to them for that. But many of these companies are struggling. We saw one company last year say less than 10% of their customers were still paying for cable TV. It just wasn't worth keeping it going. We also saw one, I think it was in Louisiana, not just shut down its TV service, but shut down completely last year with no warning. In short, what's happening here is very few people are paying for cable TV. Instead, they're focusing their efforts on where customers are actually buying, which is the internet side of things, maybe phone and some other services. And because of that, it just doesn't make sense to continue to offer cable TV. I had one cable executive talk to me about this quite a few years ago. So you get the cable pipe, right? You got that copper cable coming into your home, and they kind of subdivide it. Part of the bandwidth that can support is now allocated for TV. Shutting that down means 100% of the bandwidth going to your TV can be now dedicated to internet service, allowing them to offer better internet service. With that, I suspect that many companies are looking at this as a few factors. A, shutting down allows them to offer better service. B, there's a lot of cost here. They're paying often not just by the customer, but by a flat fee for it. So many of these companies are starting to say, hey, we're losing money on TV because we have to pay whether our customers are watching it or not. And it's preventing us from doing other improvements to our internet service where our customers are most interested. And we're facing competition on internet, new fiber options, Starlink, 5G home internet, and others. And they're saying, in short, we need to shut down the TV, focus on the part of our business that's profitable. I suspect that we'll see this dramatically increase and become even more common in the future as cable companies really do look at this and say, this is just not worth it. I think maybe that 1.2% that we're seeing shut down every year could grow to 5 or 10% by 2026, 2027. A lot of these small companies are going to go away. What is going to happen there? Well, some are just going to shut down and go away. GCI is a great example of that in Alaska. Others are being bought up. Spectrum has been on a buying spree in the last few years, picking up small cable companies across the country. I expect that to continue in limited markets. Spectrum seems to be really focusing on ones that are already close to markets they serve. They don't want to have to launch an entire new service department and area. But if there's a fringe small cable company on its current existing market, it seems like they're interested in picking that up. So are a few others, but Spectrum seems to be the biggest one interested in that. Other options are other cable companies and investors. But in recent years, investors have been much less interested in cable television and even streaming, to be honest with you. A lot of them have pulled back after being early very bullish on the TV industry. It's one of the reasons why a lot of these companies are facing the reality that they need to become profitable because investors are not going to prop them up much longer. I suspect in the next 5 to 10 years, a large number of cable TV companies will shut down. Not necessarily the big ones. I do not think we're going to see cable TV completely go away in the next 5 years. Maybe in 10 years or more, maybe. But there's still a lot of customers out there who are just used to it, who are willing to pay that premium price. And as long as people are willing to pay that premium price, cable companies are going to continue to offer it until the point where it becomes financially unstable. The one wild card factor here is how long cable networks hang on. Will we see a mass exodus of cable TV networks shutting down over the next 10 years? That could speed up the death of cable TV. We'll have to keep a close eye on that. But get your predictions in now. How many cable TV companies do you think will be shutting down? Our source says over 50 next year. Do you think that number's low? Remember, there's over 4,000 cable TV companies in the United States, many in small rural markets across the country. You leave me a comment. You let me know what you think. Until next time, take care, be safe. I'll be back again real soon.